Hey, this is Dave. Winter House Gaming Podcast.
Holy fucking
It was
shit.
no. Hold on. I panicked just a little bit.
Let's just pretend this is going really well.
Yes. So we're still trying to figure out our camera situation with these guys. You guys want to cuddle?
Oh, we're
Yeah.
cuddling.
We're all about that.
Do
Yeah.
you want to get a wood chair so it like squares it out a little bit better, or do you want to sit on the rollies?
I'm up for the rollies. We like these. We're liking these rollies.
She's like, I just
Roly
want
polies.
Yeah.
roll.
I
Okay.
was gonna make that reference.
You were going to make that reference. We can see everybody okay. Life is good. Tony.
Life is terrible.
Life's
but I'm
good.
comfortable.
Kelly.
Well, yeah.
I'm
good.
okay with
Life
it.
is
You gotta
I have
be
a
happy with what you
tasty
have.
drink, thanks to Toos. My favorite drink is here.
Right.
I need to get a tasty Toos drink after this, but we are here,
Yeah.
as you can see, Winter House Gaming here with Controller Throwers. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely, our pleasure.
It's about
Thanks for having
time
us.
you came.
It's
Yeah.
about time.
I know, we've been looking forward to this
It
day a
is.
lot.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought you
good.
were here the other night, but it was just a dream.
Although I'm thinking of a new hashtag, Tasty Toos.
I mean,
It sounds like somebody finding Pornhub.
Tasty Toos.
Well, we got a half, and Pornhub's not even.
You just got your new deal with Pornhub.
Tasty-
man. How do you feel?
Tasty Toos takes one for the team. You gotta have the alliteration there. It's all T's.
Yeah. Tasty. That's so funny.
Tasty
Why not one?
Toos.
Tasty Toos takes two.
Takes two. That's the sequel.
Oh, God.
The award-winning sequel.
It'll be like Sailor
Please
and the
explain this to
Seven
me.
Balls or whatever.
I feel like people are gonna be very confused.
They would be very confused.
hello, people.
We're all very confused anyway.
It's okay.
So, what? This drink, by the way. Okay, so I make this red drink. It's really simple. It's just vodka.
It's a blue one,
I got
too.
the blue one.
It's
Yeah.
just
You got the blue
vodka,
one.
I got the blue
and
one.
more
Vodka. But it's got the red one has the fruit punch and Sprite. I mean, it's super simple, but it's delicious. And I've been enjoying them for the past
Refreshing.
about 2 hours, I think.
Nice.
You got the blue one?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah,
find it quite.
health and mana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I call it.
I'm always a magic user. So.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good. I want to take another drink and then tell you
I
guys.
was going to start off by saying that I almost threw my controller last night.
Now, did you? What were you playing?
Yeah, what
Metal
game?
Gear Solid.
That's right. I saw you playing.
That final fight with Liquid Snake on top
Oh,
of
that's
Metal Gear. I've been playing the game for years.
For me, it was the
Never-
elevator ride with all the invisible ninja guys.
Too basic.
Yeah.
Now die. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can close that game so far. And I do.
Well,
Often.
Tooth shares your frustration. Did you guys see him
Yeah.
playing that way back?
I need to go back and finish it, but yeah, I used to play a bunch of that in the early
Well, the
episodes.
weird thing is, I've been playing that game for years.
It's a great game.
Never had a problem with that fight.
Dude,
Until
last night he was getting
broadcasting
so
it to strangers
mad.
on the
Little-
internet.
little salty.
Now all of a sudden I'm just like,
Like just fucking up.
solid what?
That was like me
Yeah.
crawling up that last Colossus. I was just not happy.
Did you actually beat the
Very
final
angry.
boss, by the way?
I did. And then I got super sad. And then I got sad again. And then it kept like
Tell me
beating
what
me
that game's
down.
And I got a little bit happy.
No, but any of that was so sad.
Yeah, I haven't seen the. Like I said, I still haven't beaten the final boss, so I haven't seen the ending of the game.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
I will
I didn't see
speak
the ending
nothing
of
of
the
the.
game either.
But yeah, it's one of those things that like,
Nothing
as like I never went back to actually finish it.
Okay, you have to finish it and do it soon because we have to talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Because I'm still torn. I'm
Okay, go do it now.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue the interview.
We will pause this.
We will
and,
continue
The
this.
discussion.
Actually, that'd be great.
By that
Like
point.
audio to get, like have him playing it off to the
Yeah.
side, then you just hear motherfucker.
Well,
Well, I mean, that's pretty much exactly what happened the first time he played it.
I swore so much playing Metal Gear Solid the first time. Aaron legitimately thought I wasn't having fun.
Yeah, I like. There was like a wall separating us, and I'm in a closed room, right? And I'm like, I don't know if I was trying to sleep or just watching a movie or something, but I hear from the other room, "Fuck, Toos, everything okay, buddy?
Like, are you good?
You need anything? You need to like take a time out, relax. Everything okay?" He's like, yeah, no. I'm like, well, you sound like you're not having a good time. Like, no, great time.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, that was the
I love getting raged, angry.
that was like the first time I ever played Dark Souls with my ex-fiance, and from the other room she's just like, "You don't sound like you're having very much fun."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm having so much fun. You don't even know what
You
fun
don't
is."
understand fun, yeah.
That happens.
Yes.
It's like until you're there and you're playing it and you're having as much fun as
Yeah.
I'm having right now, it's okay to be angry about it, but It's crazy to be really angry.
Out of the greatest challenge comes the greatest feeling of accomplishment.
Like, if you're
When you
breaking-
finally beat
It can,
that,
yeah.
If
you
you're
know?
breaking your TV over it, that's like probably a little bit too angry.
I love watching people on YouTube break
Oh,
their
it's
TV.
hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious.
That is
but
funny.
you know,
I
It's
get to live
good.
vicariously through them, so I don't have
Right.
to do that.
exactly.
Quality
Exactly
entertainment.
what
It's like, okay, the mistake that you just made to cause you to break your TV, I'm not going to do that.
Mistakes were
I have
made.
this like weird like I have this tell like when I can like kind of like look inward and like find out like, okay, maybe I should take a break. After I die, I'll just be like,
Yeah, and you're like, okay, nope.
I can never do that.
That was
Dude,
you
yeah.
taking that energy that you were about to like use to crush the controller,
Using it to your
forcing it
advantage.
outward externally. Okay, time
Putting
to
it back into
put it
the
into the
force.
ether.
Yeah.
Into the ether.
Do I
need, like,
really
a-
want to spend $60? No, I'm gonna set this controller down.
I know how much
Controller,
Yeah.
it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I love you. I'm sorry
I've
for twisting
thrown
you 3 or 4
controllers
times.
across the
Yeah.
room multiple times.
When was the last time you did it? Most recent?
Probably last year sometime,
What were
maybe
you
like
playing?
middle
Do
of
you
the
remember?
year. I can't remember honestly.
I haven't thrown a controller
You
since
just
I was a
remember
kid,
the
like-
anger.
Dude, I
was
just remember
probably an NES
exactly.
controller.
That's
That's why I
exactly
love-
what it was.
that
I
was
just
the logo.
remember the anger and be like,
Oh, dude.
I've only actually broken a controller once.
What were you playing? You remember?
Like Def Jam Vendetta.
Really?
Fight Ghostface Killer. Man.
You know what, guys? I wish I
As
brought it.
Redman, yeah.
I
That is
just
the
picked
funniest
up a
thing.
copy of Shaq Fu on the SNES.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, Shaq Fu. Wow. I forget they made these games.
Yeah. But
It's like Clay Fighter. It's like
oh yeah, I remember Clay Fighter.
Clay Fighter was fun, but
It was one of those. There was a huge dilution of 2D fighters around that time.
Yeah.
Like, it was. What I dare say, and I don't want to get out of our topic area here, but what I dare say is we're at risk of happening with superhero films right now, where there's just so many of them.
yeah, it's
but
oversaturated.
That happens.
Yeah.
That happens consistently throughout history, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
oh yeah.
something like right now, Battle Royale.
There's a
My brother's like,
major
everyone's got a battle royale.
oversaturation.
My
of
brother's
that.
like, you
It's
have
the
to
new
buy
waves. It's
Darwin?
the new horde mode.
yeah,
the
basically
Darwin
a Gears of
Project.
War.
There's a new
Yeah.
game coming out next week on the 8th called the Darwin Project, and they talked about it. Xbox talked about it last year, but
You're on a ship.
it's literally another.
Tortoises.
Yeah, it's just another. It's just another fucking battle royale game. I'm so tired of that.
Well,
They took
Metal
delete-
Gear
deleted
Survive.
Fortnite.
I don't know much of them. I don't know if you guys know much
It
about Metal Gear
bombed.
Survive. Yeah,
It bombed.
I mean,
So bad.
it's-
You don't even want to mention that.
as
for him.
as far as I know, it's not even a Metal Gear game. Yeah, same. Same. As soon as
Going in my happy
Kojima,
place.
And he's gone.
as soon as Kojima left Konami, I'm like, you shouldn't even. You should
One
retire
thing,
that
one
term.
thing to say: fuck Konami.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, legit.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
thing that sucks
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
if you go back,
I'm not
if you
saying
go back
fuck
20,
Kojima. I'm
25
saying
years,
fuck Konami.
Konami was putting out some of the most phenomenal games.
But if you want to play Plinko, man, Konami is the company for you, man.
I think I saw some of their machines when we were in. There was like a Silent Hill one. We saw some of them. We were in Japan, and Becca actually like cleaned house and made like $40.
Yeah, surprisingly,
Like 4,000 yen or whatever.
champion
So
somehow.
yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Somebody's profiting off Konami.
I know.
Yeah, right.
Last I checked,
Konami
Konami
tears.
was making American Idol games,
Yeah.
so
That's what they're doing.
How far
Yeah.
they have fallen.
Yeah.
How the mighty
Yep.
have fallen.
Wow.
Why?
Kudos to you,
Yeah.
Konami.
I know.
It's so weird when big
Dino.
companies fall that hard.
Yeah, I know.
Like I don't know why like Kodak is making bit mining machines. Like it makes no sense. Kodak, they're renting them.
Yeah.
A
It's
funny story.
weird.
What happened? I actually noticed it last night. I was at the Bangor Mall. All right, almost everything's closed at the mall. Okay, and I'm walking out and I see there's a main like a Bitcoin machine where you can actually just like take the Bitcoin that you've like been mining or whatever and kind of like transfer it like into like real dollars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wow, Bangor Mall is kind of like, you know, it's like a little glimmer of hope. And so like them going in, you know, kind of modernizing. Like, you know, the machine's out of fucking
Damn.
order.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's out of order.
Yeah.
They just pulled the pretzel.
It doesn't have-
place out of there.
Dude, they just pulled the GPU out of it, so they can't really use it anymore.
Twisted's closed, so I don't know
using
where
it
I'm
to
gonna
buy
get my
Bitcoin
blueberry,
and
blue raspberry Red Bull drink.
Yeah, that's so funny. Speaking of companies that are just doing god awful things, did you see that Atari has a cryptocurrency?
Atari coin?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it
a
really?
thing.
It's
It's a
called the
thing.
token, the Atari token.
I see what they did there. But
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
not great. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm
As
like,
if they
what?
couldn't get any lower than the Bluetooth speaker hat, which I still want to buy,
Speaker.
and the Heelys.
Hey, you claimed you had that on the last
You gotta
podcast.
play
Heelys.
music while you're healing down the
to deal
road,
with my feelings.
riding the wheels in your heels.
Right. That is the worst.
You claimed you
Picture
bought that
thing.
Atari Bluetooth speaker hat on the
listen to my
last
old school Britney
podcast.
Spears.
I feel like,
I got the
well,
heels,
I was gonna say
wheels,
"Take
and
on
the
Me"
feels.
by Aha. Do 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 do. You're like just cruising down the road in your heelys. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
You can pull that off.
Oh,
I mean,
that's so bad.
Dude here looks like he's out of Game of Thrones. You know what I
would
mean? So, like, no
definitely-
one's gonna mess with him.
I would
they figure he's got a
definitely
battle
be
axe in
playing
his
Hall
pocket.
and Oates.
Hall and Oates.
I mean, I can give him one.
You definitely would be.
Nice.
You'd be wheeling down like doing the Carlton.
You're gonna do
Oh my
something.
God.
You may as well do it right. So
You may as well. That's funny. Holy shit, dude.
Oh, it's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah, you're moving
It's gonna
out.
be Shutter Shades too.
Shutter Shade. Yeah, Kanye West.
I'm giving me your 30-day notice.
Wow. How does that even work?
I have no idea. Spider-Man.
You know what it does mean? It means get the fuck out.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, in loose terms.
You know, actually, going back to Konami and how much we all hate them. Yeah. I have a lot
To
of thoughts.
shift topic.
I have a lot of thoughts
Hi,
on this,
Konami.
on this topic. I actually was able to find, like, I don't want to say like super rare, but like unless you really look, you won't be able to find it. I just picked up the Silent Hill HD collection
Ooh,
from PS3.
yeah.
So like for the longest time, I haven't been able to stream PS3 because the HDCP stuff. But
It's got 2
you know.
and 3 on it, or
2 and 3. No. Yeah, 2 and 3. I was thinking 3 and 4.
But you finally
doesn't
figured
make
that
sense.
part out.
Yeah, 2 and 3. I was able to finagle it. And that's how I plan to stream all the Metal Gear games.
That's awesome.
You know, for
Nice.
someone who hates Konami, I seem to be streaming a lot of.
well, like I said, historically, I hate current incarnation of Konami, and I hate the things that they've done, like destroying PT and Kojima. Okay, I don't know the man, and certainly I can. He has the persona of a trickster about him, and I can imagine that, especially for a Japanese company, that might be rather irksome. But honestly,
Yeah.
when you have, and I'll say he's a genius. He's a genius. He's a mad genius, but
Probably
he's a
probably
genius.
hard to work with in
Yeah.
that sense.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, when you have, he's a cash cow. He is the goose that lays the golden eggs.
That's why they gave him money and closed their
Right,
eyes.
and they should have just been like, whatever you want, man. Okay, just go. We'll give you your own building, so we don't have to deal with you. Just please keep cranking out the amazing game.
They're gonna lock
But no,
you
they were
away.
like, no, we're just sticking. You do what we say or else. And he was like, well, no. And I don't blame him.
They should have
Should have
locked
been like
him.
I mean, like anything, it should have been a happy medium. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sometimes, like with people like Kojima, like you really kind of need someone like almost like a handler to kind of like reel him back in when
You're
he
saying he's like
kinda,
George
gets
Lucas.
too out of
He's like
reality.
George Lucas.
I think
Yeah, he's just like
I think we call those babysitters.
They should have
like,
put him
oh.
in an insane asylum designed for game
They're kind of
designers.
regretting that decision now, right? I mean,
yeah.
They've got to be.
He's like, oh, I want like this like boss battle with Metal Gear and the new Metal Gear, and I
Yeah.
want it to take actual literal days to beat the boss. And then they're like, well, maybe let's not.
He's
do
talking about
that.
like the end and Metal Gear.
Yeah, he
such
wanted
a
the
bold
battle with
choice.
the end to actually
I mean,
take
it took
days.
It can
to
take
do.
like an hour if you. I mean,
if you don't tease it.
I don't know if I would do that for days. I don't know.
I know.
But I'm also not a prolonged gamer. Like
If it was a Kojima Metal Gear game, I would.
after maybe
would
about
like
2
it.
hours, I really have to switch things up.
You'd probably not get in
like,
there.
I could
on the
easily do like
game.
10,
Yeah, well, that's
14
true,
plus hours
yeah.
in one game.
It depends on the game and the immersion.
Well, see, I'm a like, I don't know how bad this is, but I don't give a shit. But Far Cry is my jam.
I like Far Cry.
It has been.
I like Far Cry.
It has been.
I'm looking
like,
forward to Far
since
Cry
day
5.
one.
Oh, I am
Yes,
too.
definitely.
Dave and
I
I
put
pre-ordered the Steel
Nice.
Gold.
Way more time in that game
so-
than I have any other game I've ever
That's
played.
fun. I like Far Cry.
Even Skyrim, I have more hours in Far Cry doing the same thing over and over again than I do in Skyrim.
Just raiding the base,
crazy.
letting the animals out of the cages.
I reset it, do it a little bit differently,
Yeah.
and my brother and I did 4 together, and it was it was unreal. I loved it.
Well, the
I never had
co-op
so much
in those
fun.
games, especially the last couple,
Yeah,
has been improving.
Oh, yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And
you can really work together.
that's the experience we've wanted for so
right.
long. I think every time a game comes out, they're like multiplayer, and you're like, oh, cool, co-op, and you're like, well, you have like a little mission you can do with your friends.
But that's it,
or
like-
you can,
Right.
Or like, what was it? Grand Theft Auto 4. You can be Nico's girlfriend on the back of the motorbike and shoot random cops.
Yeah.
Like that was interesting,
Those-
but not.
Those bullshit co-op things are
Just let us do the thing. You know what we want.
Even
game
though it was
companies.
super limited,
need to
though,
take the-
I really did enjoy multiplayer, like GTA 4. Even though it was just like a lobby.
GTA 5.
and
I
you
wish
just ran around
I want to
shooting
play
each
more of
other.
that. I want to get it for Steam because I have it on like PS3 because I think I got it.
That was
right when it
amazing. I
first
haven't played
came
that,
out.
that one all the way. So I think that's the only one I've actually played the entire storyline through.
Yeah.
Is 5.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
was
it's
fun.
same.
And I actually have been thinking like I should go through the story mode of GTA 5 again because like it's that good.
Yeah, like,
It is
I-
really good.
Like 3 and 4 when I was playing them, it's like I would just go in there and just fuck around. That's all I was doing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what most people do. That's what games are for, you
But I
know?
know the stories when to mess around in the town.
What do you
The
mean you
plot
go
of a
to strip
GTA
clubs? What do you
GTA
mean?
game is like,
Drag
we want you
race.
to do this thing, but we know that you're just going to get to it eventually after just like driving around, running over people randomly, and
Right.
That is a game that you load up after a bad day at work and take out your aggression.
Oh, dude,
that is like
I
an
did that
amazing
multiple times after
inventing
a day of
game.
school. It's like, no, I'm just gonna go no.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
GTA 3 was
GTA
my
3
game.
was.
I still have like
I
the
played that
entire
game
map
so much
completely
in high school.
memorized.
I actually have a memory. Were you there at Tracy's? We did karaoke, and this was like
Is that the same night we did
back
the
when it
poker?
was first. Yeah. No, I don't think it was that night. It was another night. But I had a DDR mat. And we hooked it up to the PS2, and we were playing GTA 3 with the DDR mat. We are trying to like, it was not a great
Wait,
experience.
I've heard
My
someone.
God.
I've heard someone trying that, or
It
I
was-
saw like a YouTube video of somebody beating a specific game
We
with just
definitely
the
didn't beat it.
DDR mat. With just the
One
DDR
of
mat.
somebody beat Dark Souls 1 with the Donkey Konga. controller, and then
I've done that shit.
Twitch played Dark Souls,
Oh, that's so
where
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. Where like everyone in the chat inputs like a.
Oh, that's fun. I
It
like
took them
that.
a long time to
I
do it. They
like
beat
that.
Dark Souls doing that.
That's so
Wow.
weird.
I can't imagine. I honestly don't.
How do you
imagine-
decide
The timing is so
do that
important in
one
those.
day?
That's, to me, is like
it seems weird to like
It's
just
crazy.
One day
Probably
decide
died
to
a
just
lot
do
on
that.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
like a DDR mat. I mean, all the controls are there, so I guess I don't know. Why not? Let's try this out.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
do
a
it.
guitar.
Should we do a controller throwers and
That would be
Winter
weird,
House
too.
Gaming
Triggers.
DDR map
No,
we
but
should
one-
definitely.
playthrough of a game?
Yeah, we should definitely.
Yeah, I think we should.
Pad, but like,
Nothing. Yeah.
yeah,
Nothing
that's
else.
it.
Yeah, but
So crazy.
Start back. You don't have any triggers.
I wonder if you can you map the guitars?
You can probably, yeah, I'm sure that
Might be
you,
able
I
to
mean,
maybe.
at least with like a third party,
You imagine doing
you
like
can use like a device that captures
Yeah,
it
it
and
would
remaps
have
it
to
to
be a
something
third
else. You know?
party.
Remember
Imagine like using the
guitars
weapons
like
like
control, you
the
mean?
whammy.
I don't play-
Well,
the whammy bar.
I play rock band for vocals and drums. I
right.
hate the guitar.
I love guitar.
I've heard that. Like people
I'm
that play
actually
actual
really good.
guitar have a hard time playing.
I don't play actual guitar, but I just find it.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it.
Interestingly, I play actual drums and I don't like the drums on it, but that's because I'm like jazz trained, so I have the impulse to like play stuff that's not there. You kind of like improvise a little, you add in extra kicks on the bass drum or something like that. If you do that, obviously it breaks your combos. So
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta like restrain and just play exactly what's there, and it kind of.
I'm not good at any of
I've
it.
just
Never been able to figure out the latency like with like,
That
the
is
drum.
difficult.
It's-
Honestly, that is a good case for owning a CRT. That in your retro consoles like the NES and
Right.
SNES. Well, by the way,
The latency can be a bitch.
we just
with
kind
that
of launched
stuff.
into this, and I'm sure there's a lot of crossover between our audiences, so I'm sure a lot of people know who we are. But as you said, we are controller throwers. You can reach us at twitch.tv/controller throwers or controllerthrowers.com, I think, forward to our YouTube channel, which I want to put more stuff up on. I want to do a
Hey, they're
review.
also on Facebook
We
too.
are on Facebook. You look for controller throwers.
that's
Look for
pretty
the
great idea.
the red logo with the NES controller that's broken.
And you can also find them through all of our conversations on Facebook.
Pretty much, yeah.
Through Winter House Gaming
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. So we ran into
that we
these
have a crush
guys.
on them.
at the Nor'easter
I do,
Gaming
yeah.
Expo.
We do.
And immediately hit it off. I think we're all just kind of very kindred spirits here.
Very like-minded individuals. Yeah.
But that's kind of why this whole thing started with Controller Threads, because I would go to conventions and meet people, and we'd immediately just, as soon as retro gaming came up, specifically like NES, SNES, Genesis, you just start swapping war stories, you know.
Right.
And it was like that scene in Jaws where they're like, you know, look at this. This was a manta ray here. No, there, that was a nurse shark or whatever.
This was
like this
Turok
was
2.
this was Metal Gear Solid. This was Battletoads, the Wave Runner level or whatever. And then you're like, oh man, I hated that. I played that for like a
Tony's just got like a fucking like PS1 controller like embedded into the side of his body.
Yeah, right.
It's just like the imprint.
the
like a
flavor-
tramp stamp.
So,
But it's an imprint.
so we do this thing where we have people come up and play at conventions, and it's like my turn, like
Which is
when
so much fun.
we love it.
so
We
it's
love it.
awesome.
We're definitely
So much
doing it
fun.
at the Great Falls Comic Expo coming up.
Very cool.
PortCon, Maine. But yeah, we have people come up, and that's sort of I look at it as my revenge, because if I'm playing, you know, or Becca or Tooz is playing, we're the ones taking it for you. We're the ones going through the pain so that you don't have to. But now when we get up on stage, I get to
Right.
be the evil mad
You
scientist
do, yeah.
and get people to come up.
Like,
and,
you're
and
gonna
I
be
get
one-
to
I
watch
can
it.
You're
attest.
gonna be
Watching you play Cuphead, amazing as a viewer.
You're gonna be the one
fucking
causing
beautiful.
all the pain. Yeah.
I felt no pain there. Just
So
joy
it's,
watching
it's a wonderful
We
thing.
actually got asked to do a panel too, but I'm like, no idea what we're gonna do yet, but we have a few months to
We
figure it
should
out.
definitely, yeah.
But,
Like,
we're, you know,
It's got to be like a whole.
We're
thing,
like
yeah,
three
yeah.
completely different type of gamers, you know.
Yeah.
well, let's go down the road here. Okay, how about this? Top 5, any console, PC, whatever, Desert Island games. Somehow the Desert Island has power. You got the coconuts hooked up, and you got the skipper made a Gilligan made a coconut radio or whatever. So he hooked up your PlayStation or whatnot.
Powered by
you
seagulls.
can only play 5. Yeah, you can only play 5 games. You got to bring 5 games to the island. So starting with you, Kelly, what would you play?
Okay, so this is really, really tough.
I know,
So,
right? There's so many good.
I want to
options.
start off with Mass Effect 2 because I just have so many fond
The best
memories.
Mass Effect game,
Yes,
by far.
Yes, I
3
think
had
he will
some
agree
great
too.
moments. Let's not talk about the
I have
ending.
a question. I have a question about this real quick.
I still haven't actually
Yeah,
played
yeah,
through
I
it.
But
I beat it pre-patch, so I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
did too.
"What was that?" But
Yeah.
but it was still good. It had
was
some
good.
great score by Clint Mansell.
Oh, yeah.
Some great moments. But 2 was just like
2 is the
That
best
was the apex of
game-wise.
that
Oh
series.
yeah, it was
It
amazing.
really
so
was.
Mass Effect 2 for me.
good choice.
As of lately, Horizon Zero Dawn. Just
I really
because
want to play that.
I
That
have
looks
it over
so
there,
fucking
dude.
fun.
Oh,
Oh, we should
yeah.
play it tonight.
fun.
Yeah,
It's a
dude.
complete
So
edition.
amazing.
I remember Kelly.
I mean,
telling me that
Got it yet.
he moderately enjoys it.
Yeah, moderately is to put it like lightly. But anyways,
looks
as
great.
of lately, there's just so much to do, and it's so smooth playing, beautiful, just a
Is it
all around fun
like
game.
Turok-ish? Or am I totally barking up the wrong tree there?
You're
I mean,
barking up.
Yeah, you're
the
definitely
wrong tree.
barking
The
up
thing
the
I
wrong
liked
tree.
about Turok was that like it just sets you off and it just
yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
But the thing is-
fucking dinosaurs. What do you want from us?
Horizon
Go.
Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is literally Far Cry with robot dinosaurs and,
Yeah.
and a hot chick.
Well, that I mean,
And just
sold,
a more
sold, sold,
RPG.
right?
That's really what it is.
It has a
Yeah.
more RPG element too.
It does.
It's,
And it's the
That
same
sounds
thing-
right up my alley.
it's the same
I would
thing
love to check
so-
it out.
With the new Assassin's Creed Origins, which I fucking love,
Oh,
because
wow.
it's literally Far Cry.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just like skinned differently.
Yeah.
And same thing with Horizon for me. It's just skinned
Okay,
different.
so
But they all look
I
the
guess
same, and they play this about the same.
back to my
I love
list,
them. Yeah.
I would say my next for me would be Fallout 4.
Good choice. Very
Yep.
good choice. Especially since if you're base building and stuff like that,
Yeah,
there's a lot of replay
I-
value.
I'm just a huge mods guy
Yeah.
on that, so I think that's probably
So
one
you like
reason
go and
why.
download the Nexus
And
before you go on
there's
Desert
like-
Island. You're like, I got all these mods, all right.
Yeah, I got all these mods, like we're good. So after that, I would say Forza Horizon 3,
Yeah. Okay.
just because that's the newest rendition. Of course, they're probably coming out with one this
I'm
year.
more of a Mario
but
Kart guy, but
Oh, yeah. I
I'm a
agree.
sim racer guy, so I guess that's as
if I had the full throttle and the
that's what I
steering
want.
wheel and
It's
everything,
just
I
so
feel like
expensive.
and like maybe like one of those chairs that has the rumble.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
that I would totally be into it. at
Oh,
that
yeah.
point. I would really be
Becca
into
could
it.
just go like this.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, they-
shaking. Okay, now we gotta do
I hit the button.
It was back there though, Becca. Come on.
Okay, I can get Tooth to hold up my Vita as the second screen, like rear view mirror. He put it in front of me. Let's do this, guys. We'll rotate.
If somehow
There you
you could
go.
have one
We'll switch it
controller do the turning and then
That's when you
the
know you got
footballs would
good
be the
friends.
controller.
Oh, yeah. Willing to do that.
If I will be your Vita holder,
That would
we
be
can swap
funny.
out. I'll hold the Vita.
We
for
can
you
make
guys.
this work. Dude, we're gonna make your dream
Like
come true.
DDR man.
hold your Vita.
Hold the line.
DDR
There you
man.
go, DDR man.
Okay, so we're at
So
games.
that's 4.
Okay,
So that's 4.
What's your last
And
one?
I guess since I'm just completely like an RPG nerd at heart, really, I would go with Skyrim just because
Nice.
Excellent choice.
replayability.
Again, yeah.
So-
open, so much you can do.
Yeah. There's only one racing game in there, guys.
Yeah.
We tease him
No, that's
relentlessly
legit.
about his racing games.
Nothing wrong with good racing.
But I
games.
do think that Skyrim is really like
That's a good call. Yeah.
you could put so many hours between that and like GTA 5.
I've changed
you could
a
put
lot
so much time into those
recently,
games, it's
too.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
I've changed so much like in my gaming because back in the day when I was like getting really into gaming, it was mostly racing games.
And to make you happy,
wow.
make
So-
you happy, my 5 games, one of them would be a racing game too.
Well, I mean, back
A
10,
little bit different,
10
though.
years ago, my list would have been like mostly racing games, maybe.
So I'll go with my list. Far Cry 4 is obviously on there.
Okay.
Wow.
Skyrim
Okay.
is also on there.
Yeah.
Mario Kart's on there.
Which one?
Pick one. I don't care. I'd
Doesn't really
I'd
matter?
play any of them. I really.
I like
I'd do
SNES. I like the
SNES
old
one.
Like take it or leave
Nice.
it. Yeah.
I would do the SNES first.
Yeah.
I would, but I
Double
would really
Dash is
play any
quite
of them.
good too. I like Double Dash.
And then Rock and Roll Racing. I'm a huge addict. I love that game. I've
Holy
always loved
shit!
that game.
I have like very rarely met someone else who's even played.
Dude,
that
I
game.
love Rock and Roll Racing.
Especially because you can make your own tracks and stuff. That was awesome.
I loved it. I
That
had
game.
such a
Yeah, that was
good
good.
time playing that.
That was one of those games that I think I like used like lawnmower money during like a couple summers that I probably could have bought it twice over. I rented it so
Yeah,
frequently.
The funny thing, dude, that's hilarious. That's what we did.
Yeah.
We kept renting it.
I
down
don't think
this
I
place
ever
called
owned that
Video.
game, which is a shame because it's a great game.
We
I
rented
think it's
it
worth
so
like
many
60,
times.
$80 now too.
Yeah.
It's probably
We
like
rented it so many times at that place that the person ended up giving it to us.
Oh wow,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing.
That's such a
And,
great game. and you got the MIDI versions of like
Yep.
Black Sabbath and stuff. That's awesome.
And then the characters are just ridiculous.
yeah. Chet Ace Face.
And, yeah. And I love the.
Jet
It
Blaster
took me a
Man.
little while to get used to the hover car, but once
Yeah.
you got used to it,
Yeah.
you're like, this is the
Oh
bomb.
yeah, yeah.
I love
You don't
it.
even.
Yeah.
Once you go hover, you never go back.
So you're at 4. What's your 5th?
Geez, there's so many different things I love gaming. I don't probably Mario 64, Super Mario 64.
It's a damn good
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
It's a fun.
that's,
I mean,
that's very
No matter
worthy.
that's a specific game that no matter what you're doing or what you're into at the time, anybody would pick that up and be like, just feel. Well, not anybody, not millennials or younger
the
kids,
tightness
but
of the controls, and
Right.
because they knew they had to nail that, making the switch to 3D. They spent so much time. It just felt so good to move Mario around. It felt exactly like it's one of those times because even today, even like in 2018, there are games where you're like moves and it doesn't quite feel the way it should.
Exactly.
Let alone like
It's not-
motion controls
right.
and,
It's not
and
or
all
you
that.
hesitate
know.
for a split second, and
Yeah.
then you can tell.
It's
And
so
do you
good.
remember the transition? And we'll move on real quick though. The transition between the CRTs to going to
Oh,
the
yeah.
plasmas or
Yeah.
anything. You remember how weird that was?
Oh, definitely.
And you can see that mostly when you play like Guitar Hero on the older CRTs
Oh, yeah.
to new.
Yeah.
It was so weird, but it was frustrating.
It
Like,
was.
I,
Oh,
yeah.
I can't really play this right now. Why?
Well,
why is it
Like
so
when I
weird?
first got my first Best Buy credit card,
Yeah.
and the first thing I got was
feel
like
your pain.
like 2006,
Dude, he's real, man.
2007, right
Yeah.
when like they were like everything was transitioning
Yeah.
to like LED and plasma. And I got my first like Toshiba,
Yeah.
you know, like 32-inch. I'm like, oh,
And it weighed like 1,000,000 pounds.
720.
Yeah, you're like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was flat screen, but not flat panel, right?
Yeah.
It's like basically with the CRT,
It had like the big,
not a curved
like,
screen.
It had,
Yeah.
yeah, the big like bezels.
Yeah, yes.
Going down,
Yep.
but yeah, it was technically
I think I
a
had
flat
that same
screen.
one.
And those were the
Great.
reversed.
Yeah.
Those were the
Now,
reversed
did you buy
projector
that for
plasma
a
screen.
game specifically?
I
Was it Dead Rising?
bought it for GTA 4.
Okay, I bought mine for that. Okay, a little later then.
Yeah.
I bought my first ever flat screen HD TV. It was only 720p for Dead Rising on the 360 because the goddamn text, if you don't have an HD TV, is so small you cannot read it.
Oh wow.
That must have
Wow.
been like
So
a year.
Yeah,
prior.
I was like,
Yeah.
I had a crappy CRT. I was like, okay, my friend's like, I have a bigger CRT. You can have that. I'm like, okay, great. Turned it on. Still could not read it. I'm like, so I went out and bought an HD TV
Yeah, it's
specifically for that
That's
game.
like the weird
That's
thing.
hilarious.
Where,
Like, it's such a funny game.
And
to
you
buy
could,
a TV
I know,
for.
it's
You
not
would never
like-
at
think.
that time you could
Yeah.
probably just go
It
online
was
and
a
find the
good game.
text.
I mean, I like OG Dead Rising. That was pretty good actually,
It's like
but
the-
like not like it
I've played it
wouldn't
a long
be
The
the kind
weird
of
thing
game you
about
would think.
like TVs and games, like perspective is everything. It's like when I got mine, it was like
Yeah.
720p, and I looked at it, I'm like, this TV looks so amazing and crisp.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like when Super Mario 64 came out, I was like, graphics are not gonna get any better than this.
I literally had that thought. Super Mario World. When we first got the SNES, we turned it on, ding, and you seen the colors and stuff, and it was 16-bit. This is amazing. They're just never gonna.
I
top
don't
this.
see how this could get any better.
Like, what are they gonna do? Couldn't I can't even. Like, can you imagine going back in time
Dude,
to
I
yourself
thought that at the
in like the
time when I
8-bit
got
era
my first Nintendo
and showing them
64.
like The Last of Us or like
I couldn't imagine like how they would probably think the
blow
world's
my
coming to an
tiny
end.
little mind.
Speaking of a
Yeah.
game with controls recently that
Yeah.
have really frustrated me was actually The Last of Us.
I love The Last of Us.
I love the story.
He
it
could
took
not
me
do
a
the combat.
long time to get used to like everything combat.
I can understand that. It's not
that.
the combat mechanics are not the best.
But
They're
holy
not-
crap,
but
the
my
first 10
God.
They're
minutes
not
of that
as smooth
game.
as I
the
thought they were
story
going to
and
be.
the
So I
character
guess that
development.
the character development, yeah, and the story are like.
I mean, okay,
that's
yeah,
what.
as you say, the first 10-15 minutes of that game,
Yeah.
it is kind of cheap what they do,
Yeah.
but it is so effective, and I have never cared so much about video game characters so quickly.
Oh yeah, like I've seen that like probably 10-15 times, and like
Yeah.
I like watched
Sam
him.
still
I watched
gets me
him
missed
play it
yet.
for the first time.
Yep.
Tears.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man,
It's like,
they
wow.
nailed it.
Yeah.
That mocap and like the voice acting.
Oh,
and
yeah, it's
everything.
so good.
So were we doing the island games? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
your turn.
Okay,
Tony.
I've got some weird kind of games. right?
Wait, hold on, wait. Honey Pop.
Yeah, right. When you
Battle rate.
Wait. Mount.
Well, we went through one of the podcasts. We went through a whole entire amount of games that were not allowed on Twitch.
Yeah,
And that was one of them.
The list was unreal. That was one of them.
Wait, so
High game.
The guy.
BMX Triple X.
It's
BMX, that is the most blatant.
Like they're like, okay, look, it's kind of a subpar BMX biking game, but there's titties, so buy it.
so buy it.
It's like marketed at like 11 to 12-year-olds specifically. Because if you're older than that, you probably have access to like an older brother or a father's sock drawer or whatever.
Right off the bat.
Who's gonna need this? It's like a 3-year window. That's it.
Right off the bat, Desert Island game number 1, Super Metroid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
choice.
That's just that's just me. Next one, I had a lot of fun with this game, Crimson Skies for the original
Never
Xbox.
played that.
You haven't played Crimson
Dude,
Sky?
Is that
the first one's for Xbox only,
The
right?
look of
Yeah.
disappointment.
I remember
there.
playing it a while back at a friend's house. I never finished it, but I was very intrigued by it.
Is that like
I don't
a,
even- I thought
is that like a
I don't
dogfighting game or is it?
I haven't found another
Half and half.
dogfighting game
It's
that
dogfighting,
quite
but-
was that intense that gave
Yeah,
me that,
I do
that
want to.
rush.
I want to go
Have
back.
you
and
never
play
played
that.
Top
That was-
Gun on
that
the
was a fun
NES?
game. That was a fun game I played. though.
You've never played
Same
Gradius
rush.
3?
No.
Landing that plane on that aircraft carrier.
Gradius 3? Come on.
It's not really dogfighting.
Shit,
It's more like
Star Wars
dogfighting
Battlefront
off
2?
Bloodlines.
Yeah.
That was so bad. No one will
Press
press
the A button to spend $20 and win the game.
Yeah, for real.
Snake, press the action button to pay us money. Play Pachinko now. Back to Konami. Sorry, Tony, please.
Go ahead, please go. Yeah.
Oh shit! I lost my train. The old SNES Ducktales game.
Wait.
Dude, yes.
SNES DuckTales game? I
Yeah.
played the NES one, and I know there was a sequel. I thought that was also NES. There was one for the SNES.
No, I'm pretty sure there was one for the SNES.
I mean, I'm not saying.
You want me to confirm?
Prove it. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that.
Well, see, my thing is every time
I just
someone
don't
says
remember
that,
that.
I second guess
And it
myself
surprises
too, so
me,
I have to
'cause, like,
confirm.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
Wait a
I
second.
thought
Am I
they
going
were.
crazy?
It may have been on Game Boy.
DuckTales for NES was amazing.
It was like I was like 10, and like my brother and I rented it. Like
You were 10? It was NES.
He just called you old, dude.
No, you're not that old. Wait, I'm 2, 3 years
In
old.
10, I was 10 in 1994. You dingus.
Oh, yeah, you
You
were.
dingus.
Okay.
So SNES had been out for at
fucking
least a couple
cunt.
years at that
Go right out with it. I'll call you out, bro.
Oh man, you should have brought the shirt.
Yeah, the shirt.
Did you guys see that?
Cocktail.
We were playing.
Playing,
Cucktails. Hashtag Cucktails.
Dude, I almost
Join the conversation.
I almost picked up the shirt to wear today too.
Yeah, so we were
That's so
playing
funny.
Jackbox. One of the games is, I think it's called
Draw.
T-Fury or
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that. And you basically compete to make T-shirt designs. So it's
You
kind of like
buy them at
drawful.
the end.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah,
draw.
I've
I
seen
saw that. Yeah,
So
that's really cool.
someone will draw something, and then you'll try and like put a
You can
slogan
order
to
the
pair with it.
T-shirts
Yeah,
later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody, I think Rachel drew
Rachel,
like
yeah.
an angry cat duck thing, and like
And someone caption it cucked.
cucked. And then
Cucked.
the thing is, like, you're given options, and I voted for that one accidentally, but it ended up winning. So I ended up winning the game, and I was like, okay, well, whatever wins.
That's so
But
funny.
like, we ended up like buying 3 of them. So I gave Toos one for a Christmas present.
You should take pictures of them, like
The
post
cuck-
them so I can see the.
Cuck
Or just send them to me. It's okay.
Ooh.
I want to see them. The other night I was gonna purchase one. I can't even remember what it was now, but it was just really funny.
We made a clip of
We should
it.
do that
CP
again.
Sketch was having a
Did we
really
make a clip?
hilarious
Yeah,
game.
I think we have a clip on,
Do you?
on
Okay.
Twitch.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's like the cucked shirt saga or something like that.
Those games are hilarious. They did
are.
a really good job.
They are.
Yeah,
You guys have that? Because we can play it tonight.
Yep, the interaction is,
You could
is
do like an
fantastic.
8-person game.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is.
What do I have it on?
Play some.
And it's just perfect.
Bean Boozled.
I have it on
Yeah,
something.
you don't-
Perfect kind of platform
PS4,
for Twitch.
PlayStation,
really.
PS3.
PS4.
Okay, so DuckTales.
DuckTales.
game.
Yep. DuckTales game. I personally want to say Final Fantasy 9.
Ooh.
He's a big
Love
9
that,
fan.
love
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Even though we just purchased 8
yeah, on Steam.
again. Probably the 900th time. Go
Yeah,
ahead, sorry.
but you know it's 8, so whatever. What
The
are you
thing
gonna do?
is, I'll be honest. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. I'm a big fan of 6 and 4, which we knew was 3 and 2 here.
Right.
7 I liked. 8,
Careful.
listen. I'm not saying I can't say that 8. No. And I'm gonna be brutally honest here.
I ain't saying boo.
I can't say that 8 is a bad game because I really never played too much of it. Specifically because it's probably due to the age.
meatball.
The age. No. Listen.
man, no, the meatball. Don't want some of
Probably
those.
due to.
Hey, come on.
Probably due to the age.
Don't ruin
at
the
which
fun
I was
for all
playing
of
it.
us.
But I was not. Patience was not one of my virtues at that point.
Oh, you hear that,
Okay.
Patience?
I was not yet well acquainted with patience at that age. So when I was playing the game and it was like an hour into the first tutorial and they opened up another tutorial within the tutorial, I went click and turned it off, and I have never really given
Oh
it
my
a chance
God.
since. So like, I'm sure it's a really good game,
and I
love the Final Fantasy games. I love the characters and the storytelling, but I just never really gave
It was
got
a
chance.
steep. It was a fast transition though from
Yeah.
7 to 8.
and it's so weird. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's so
like him. I didn't actually grow up with like. When I was a kid, I didn't have the NES, SNES, all those consoles.
yeah.
Even the early PS1 games. My introduction to Final Fantasy was 10.
Wow.
Well, that's a great
yeah.
That is really good.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Like, and I had,
They
then I
did
started
the-
wanting to go back and play the others.
What do I call it? The dancing thing?
The dancing
Remember the
thing?
dancing thing we talked about?
What?
No,
When they did the
No.
never mind.
you're insane.
I mean, yeah,
It was
probably.
there was a dancing. There was some sort of like scene when they were dancing, and then like the beams of light. I don't know.
Oh,
Is that
anyway.
when...
Oh, she does. She does.
To end my list,
the
yeah,
prayer
yeah.
right for the people.
OG
in the world.
Perfect Dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Perfect Dark.
yes,
Nice.
OG
Perfect
Perfect
Dark
Dark.
Zero?
No, Zero was the prequel.
Oh, fuck. Okay, sorry.
N64 and
OG Perfect Dark.
I grew
You
up
guys are
with
gonna
Super
love.
Zero.
You guys are gonna
Because
love
I grew
those
up with
meatballs.
Xbox.
we have like a separate file.
You have to understand,
Local
my
authorities, if we don't make it back home, you know
My
why.
appreciation for Perfect Dark is different because I actually grew up in an era where Perfect Dark Zero was what introduced me to Perfect Dark.
Oh.
Because I grew up
Interesting.
with like Xbox and Xbox
She's what we
360.
call a
It was like the
young-
first 360
Oh, I
game
thought it was
I
communist. I'm sorry.
had. So I kind of didn't even know what Perfect Dark was until after I played Zero.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Wait,
See,
hold
no, I
on.
had Zero for Xbox
Okay.
360. and
Unperfect
The
Dark.
multiplayer was really
Okay.
good,
Hold on.
but
I thought you were a little bit older. Like 27-ish or 25.
Wait, you're not?
No, she's 21. So it's, no, this makes sense. Okay. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
we just had.
Don't poison
yeah,
the
not-
meatballs.
I had to defend
It's
myself.
not her fault.
Everyone was like, "Ah, boo, you fucking suck." Perfect Dark Zero, get the fuck out of here.
I don't know if you can still buy it on the
Guys,
Xbox
wait,
Marketplace. But when I got the remaster
Yeah.
on Xbox,
Yeah.
like all the feels.
Yeah.
It was
Dude,
just
yeah. I
so
love
they
original
handled
Perfect
it
Dark.
so well.
So well.
Like just.
I remember
actually,
the first time that I played that on N64.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is this? And
N6
why do I love it so
Yeah.
much?
So you did your 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Can I add like a runaround?
Becca, being 21,
God.
in a
She's gonna have
are
the
we
most
all-
interesting perspective out of all of us.
I'm
We're
actually
all-
kind of.
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
Final
interested.
Fantasy 13 and all this.
Are we all over
27.
25? Are we all over 25?
Except for her, yeah.
Wait, so Tony, how old are you?
I'm 31.
31,
I'm 33 in a week.
35.
35.
Okay.
You're 35?
she's-
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm
You're like 29.
I'm super
It's the
curious.
Willy Wonka hair. It keeps him young.
It does. It is really
Dude, I keep
Willy
telling you,
Wonka,
dress
is
up
that
like Willy
you?
Wonka and give out candy at the
Can you do me
controller
a favor?
show.
Just say Scrumdiddly
That would probably get him in jail.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would probably land Toos in jail.
So you just that's probably what
You just do me a favor so I can make it a
not
gift.
do that.
Just say, you get nothing! You get nothing! Good day!
You stole fizzy lifting drinks.
So I have to know
Okay,
your
do that.
5 for this whole island thing. Being younger and
More hip. More with it.
Oh my God.
Hep
Okay.
with an E.
Well, I'm gonna
dance.
start the list with the best ones so that I know I'm not leaving them out.
okay.
So, one would probably have to be Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Two fan.
either Kingdom Hearts 2 or Birth by Sleep, either the 2 is fine as long as you just give me one of those.
What about all the other fucking weirdly named ones? 358 divided by 2 days or whatever.
It's
Are you-
358
Yeah.
over 2.
She can quote the entire script to you, so like, don't even try and challenge.
Chain of Memories or Birth by...
Okay,
It's a
Re was
reply to an
because
email.
they made it on Game Boy, realized it was a mistake, and then remade it for PS2.
Okay.
And now they're all remastered on PS4. So.
I have a question.
I actually bought them the other day.
Oh, really?
Not
Okay,
to,
cool.
You totally are just railroading this.
I
whole
really am. It's a Kingdom Hearts
Well,
question.
at least he knows
Okay,
it.
no,
He
go ahead,
admitted
go
it.
ahead. Okay.
Kingdom Hearts is the first game I played.
It's relevant.
The PS4 one, 1.5 and 2.5,
Yeah.
is that all the Kingdom Hearts games?
Yes.
Okay,
It's all
'cause
of
that's
them,
what I
it's-
want.
It's all of them except for, I think, 2.8 has Dream Drop Distance on it.
I bought that so you can play.
So it's got that one, and
You have-
then a
I
fragment.
thought you just had the first one.
I have the 1.2, 2.5 thingy.
Oh, you did?
It's like one
And
CD.
as I will say this.
Yeah, as long as you have that and 2.8, you have everything.
As a
So-
musician, I know we got some musicians here in the house, and as a music appreciator, a connoisseur of music, and someone who went to
aficionado.
school for music, and I'm an
One would
aficionado,
say.
if you will.
Aficionado.
I really, really love the music in Kingdom Hearts. It's probably
I
the
can
best
get
thing in my
behind
opinion.
that.
Yeah,
The music
Yoko
is
does such a-
fantastic. Like
such a
whether you
great
like the
job.
games or not, if you're listening to that music and it doesn't move something in you, you're not human. You know, you're a tin man.
It moves something
go
in
find
me.
your
That
heart.
goes
It
with
moved something in
Disney
me, but
in
I-
general.
I
So,
totally agree.
Aaron, it moved something in me, but I got arrested.
But you hanging out with Willy Wonka? What's going on? Get away
I
candy.
felt that way about the music in Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, no, well, dude, Nobuo Uematsu is like
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
As well as the game was, I can remember the thing. 10 as well as the game was like,
I
wow,
have to
these
say something
graphics
about
are
music.
amazing. They're
Yeah.
incredible. Okay, now going. I really thought those were incredible.
Yeah.
Want to go back and try to play it now?
I'm playing the 10 remaster,
Yeah.
right? And it's like the international version, so I'm fighting with all the Dark Aeons. It
haven't
makes
done
me
that
want to
yet. I
blow
wanna
my
actually
fucking
go back
brains
and do
out.
that.
Holy crap, it's so hard. It's so hard.
Okay, so we successfully got through one game. Let's do the
Okay,
next one.
number 2.
all right.
All right.
And anyway,
so
another
two
thing.
is like Kingdom Hearts all over for me, but like now that I'm like an adult, it's like okay, so Persona 5 is like fucking
Really?
We have not
amazing.
touched
I love
keep
anything
hearing
Atlas.
that. I
Anything
know.
Atlas can throw at me, I will play.
We have to buy this game.
We got it.
It's
Yeah.
so
mine
good.
was too, so it's-
so
yeah.
good.
It's
Let
gonna
me
be
put
on
it
mine
this
too.
way.
Spoiler
All three of
alert.
us have this on our list.
Spoiler
I
alert.
played the main story all the way through, sunk more hours into it than I did in
Yeah.
Skyrim.
When I was here last week, I wasn't lying.
Over
It's-
200
I cannot
hours
stress
just in one
enough how much I
playthrough.
recommend
Holy
this.
shit.
Yeah.
You know
A
what
lot
the
of
thing is, though?
content.
There's enough
will
stuff to do.
steal
in
your
that
life
game.
for about
I've never
Yeah.
played any.
You
freaking
can-
a month
game
and a half.
That sounds like something I can get behind.
It's something you have to do.
Unless you are like trying to like one shot it really quickly, you can get 100 to 150 hours in a single playthrough easily. It is so much
And you
content.
were the one that told me to that like there's so many hours in the day, so you can only do so
Yeah,
many
so,
things
wait,
before you have to like, go to
half
bed.
the
and then
game
go-
is living like your daily life with building social relationships and building time management.
Yeah.
And spend the other half of the game fighting in dungeons and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
pretty
so who
awesome.
here has played that game the most?
Probably her.
Totally me.
I'm just shy of the
like
final boss, by the way,
a fourth
so-
through my merciless play, so
I've
So-
beat it. Yeah, she's already going into her new game plus.
Real quick, Becca.
Very
Yeah.
silently in the distant room.
I mean, the
Eric
music in that
raises
too
his
is
hand.
phenomenal. The music is phenomenal.
So
I just realized.
real quick, because we have more lists to go.
lists.
Tell me real quick what exactly what's this game like? Pick another game that's kind of close
Oh,
to
God.
the
Oh
game
wow,
play.
that's
do you-
hard. That's.
No, you said dungeons. Or
Well,
I don't know.
But-
Is that a game?
I was told there would be dungeons and or dragons.
Well, I use that as just
Can
a
we
general
use that
term
as
for
a
a place
game
you go
named
into
Dungeons
and
or
Dragons.
Dragons?
Okay, so let me get this right. There's a main area, and then you go to different
Tokyo
areas.
is the main area.
Tokyo is the main
you drive-
area.
you ride all
play as
around
a
on the
school
subway.
student.
Wide open.
Well, it's
To a
like
certain- to a certain point.
The subway is like the fast travel system to a bunch of interconnected hub areas.
You get
So
more
you
hub
can,
areas through the game.
yeah,
so
as it unlocks
it
more and more.
It
Yeah,
expands.
You-
It's definitely not sandbox. There are limited
not
places you can go.
not sandbox per se, but fairly open in as much as Chase said, a lot of the game is picking how you spend your time. Do you want to hang out with your friends? It increases your bond, which actually makes you do better in combat. Like me and Tony hang out. We go see a movie. We go see The Cake Night Rises. That's one of the movies. That I've
literally one of the-
you're garbage who bakes cookies for money. I don't know. It's like really weird. They have a really weird sense of humor. Yeah, it's like instead of The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, the sense of humor is
it's
right by the-
really out there, but it's really really cool.
So they just dropped the whole
Tony and
Shin
I
Megami
Tony and I
Tensei
hang out, and our
part.
social link
Yeah.
goes up. So then in battle, if I'm about to take a fatal blow, Tony's like, he went to see The Cake Night Rises with me. He dives in front of it, takes the bullet for me or whatever. It's
Wow.
like because you're
Oh, so it's purely
Yeah.
fiction.
Yep.
He's like, fuck you, man.
I'm on my own. Yeah,
I'm
you're
still
right.
watching the Cake Night.
Cake Night Rises. I'll go with
It's not gonna happen. Seacrest out.
Yeah, this is my second time saying it now.
Okay, so we will definitely
Well,
try
it's
this game out.
turn-based. It is like
It's the closest thing to
like,
playing an anime.
Yeah, you gotta listen up your shit.
You're an
It's like
fan.
anime-
It's like playing an episode of an anime.
We'll check
With-
it out.
Yeah.
I mean, there are elements to it that remind me of Final Fantasy. Like,
Yeah.
I think I love it because it reminds me of
So
Final
is
Fantasy.
it
in
an
a way.
It's an RPG.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Turn-based
It's a
battle
JRPG
type.
par excellence. It is
Yeah.
the natural evolution.
I just realized.
And the music
in that
and
is just
Eric's gonna give me
phenomenal.
so much more crap now.
He is because he's been raving
Eric
about
has
this.
been telling me to play Persona 5. You
Eric, got it.
and I'm just
He's
like,
correct.
I'm poor.
He
I'm
is-
sorry.
he is correct.
Eric is the one person we mention every fucking podcast,
Eric
and
Pornhub.
he's a really cool
Swear to
guy.
Fucking God.
He dude loves Pornhub.
He's one of our affiliates.
He is.
Yeah.
He's one of
Nice, nice.
not Twitch's affiliates, but like Winter House affiliates.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So I'm gonna check this out, and we're gonna do it
Please
super
do.
soon.
Please do.
Definitely.
We'd love to hear what you think
cool.
about
Let's
it.
go to the list.
That one is
Two games.
probably of the 5.
We're gonna give you a full review, and we
Please.
don't hold back.
Yeah, that's good. That's
sounds
good.
We're glad.
It should be a video review. I'm like, so I played Persona 5.
I cannot believe.
These fucking people recommended this.
Okay, so you're on. We got through number 2.
Poison
Okay,
Ivy.
two.
Okay.
Yours are
Please
controversial.
quiz now. Okay, now. So
Yours are complicated.
I gotta have at least one music game. So this is like my equivalent for a racing game has to be like Guitar Hero 3.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I love Guitar
All right,
Hero.
yeah, I like Guitar
that
Hero
was
3 a lot.
what
Yeah, that was a
really,
good
like,
one.
turned
I
me
just
onto
like how
it.
it had my Kill Switch's mic cursor on.
Dude, yes.
Yeah,
And it's good because if you're on an island, there's people.
It had
who-
darkest.
Yeah,
It had
exactly.
darkest
Everyone
hour,
can
and I'm a
You're gonna have
metalhead,
a
so
great
I was
time.
just like
Exactly,
darkest
yeah.
hour.
You're going to be the
That
most
was-
popular person on the
You
island.
would. Hey, this,
I got all the fun shit. No, okay. Well,
Okay, that's
So-
three.
I
Good
like
choice.
Guitar Man.
Guitaru Man. Holy shit!
man.
I forgot about Guitaru Man.
Oh man, that's
Now I'm thinking about Jammer Lammy.
Oh yeah, well one of them was
Jim
definitely Parappa.
Ooh, Parappa.
Parappa, yeah.
Parappa.
OG Parappa, first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
gotta go OG. You have to.
It is the best.
I mean,
It's the cheesiest.
I like
I love
the
it.
co-op with the
but
two, but it wasn't.
you can't appreciate 2 if you don't have an
Step
appreciation
on the
for
gas.
Dude, he's my
Step
paper
on the
bitch.
brake.
Yeah.
My paper bitch.
I'm glad you know which way
There
to
you go.
go.
So that's 4.
Oh man, now it's really tough.
Yeah,
Skyrim?
Getting down to getting down to the last
Fallout.
one.
I mean, Skyrim's great, Fallout's great,
We're already gonna have.
but I already have the game that's gonna be
We share.
over 200.
Yeah, you already have Skyrim
I'm
on the
already-
island twice
yeah.
over, so.
Oh, are we all on the same island? We're gonna have a lot of copies of Persona over here in the Sword Throwers camp.
I thought we were all sharing the coconut TV. Oh,
That. Oh, fuck. Man, we're gonna have to wager out hours. Who gets what playtime?
so
We don't even have any multiplayer games. This island sucks.
No, it's good. Freaking
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, dude, man.
Well, I was gonna say Portal 2.
Ooh, there you go. That's a
Okay.
co-op too.
All right.
Oh yeah,
One.
Dave just showed me Portal Bridge Constructor.
Bridge Constructor Portal? What the
wait, what
fuck is
is
that? There's a new game called Bridge Constructor Portal.
What?
Yeah, I heard about that, that's right.
No. Don't tell me they're ruining it.
I'm
They
telling
are,
you
yeah.
right now. I'm gonna ruin your life.
It's
and
like a
your night.
side-scrolling looking.
It's so bad.
so weird.
Why?
What are you doing? Like you're giving up. Don't be Atari.
I love how you were just like, oh, there's a new Portal game.
I was gonna add Portal, and I realized
was
all the
bad.
other ones that were so much better. So it's
Yeah.
like, no. Well,
Portal
not
2?
better, but
Is Portal 2 your fifth? It's a good choice.
I
Portal's a
mean-
great game.
Yeah.
these are games that instill nostalgia in me.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, it's about you.
There are no wrong answers.
There really is.
No,
Not
not
like,
at all.
what would you bring on Desert Island? Fuck you, you're wrong. You wouldn't bring that.
No,
No one can say that.
For the record,
Like, how the hell do you know what I'd bring?
For the record,
No, you don't know
do
yourself well
ridicule
enough.
pretty bad. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And the other thing I wanted to say after the whole conversation, I forgot now, so we're good.
I have a question.
Crisis averted.
What's like one game that you'd like to go back and like, if you could, experience it again for the first time?
Persona 5. No.
I was
Sorry,
thinking it.
I'm
I was
sorry.
thinking it.
It's-
Maybe Persona 5.
I get
I was
two.
not expecting
So when you watch
to
me
love
stream
that
it, that's
game
as
as much
close
as I
as you're
enjoyed
gonna
it.
get.
That's half the
pretty
joy,
close to
honestly,
heart.
of telling people about games that you love. Like when I was like, Toos, you got to play this game or whatever. Or like when I showed you Persona 5, you remember how excited I was when I saw you playing it. Like,
Yeah, we both
share
got
that.
this for each other as a Valentine's
Yeah.
Day gift last year.
That's how nerdy we
For
are. Like,
each other.
I got you
Wait,
Persona 5.
wait.
Oh, I got you Persona 5.
You both didn't know?
No.
No.
That's hilarious and awesome. How cool is
Sell
that?
the soundtrack
I'm
for
gonna give
Persona
the gift
5
to
for
Given 'cause
$100.
I want this game, but I know
On
he
vinyl.
also wants it, so I'm gonna give it to him. So
That's really
how that
funny.
works
That's
out.
kind of ironic that like worked out that well.
It did, though.
But
I don't know if
The
like,
Last
is,
of Us, maybe?
is Persona 5 one of those, like, is it a streamable game? Because because I love it.
It's a
Because like I love
Hold
Metal Gear
on.
Solid. It's
Hold
not
on.
very
24 hours.
stream worthy.
Do you have an Elgato? Or some other capture device?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got-
I got
Okay.
my
I have
Then
an Elgato
yes.
also.
You cannot stream it directly from the PS4 because they blocked it out.
Wait, what is
That's
that?
why you don't see
They
it stream
literally
very
blocked
often.
the entire thing.
What is it?
Okay.
Persona 5, you cannot
They
stream
block
it.
all scenes, so it's like you can't.
I
even-
understand for the first few months or even the first year, but I don't know why they haven't lifted it yet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost been out for an
Oh, you
entire
can?
year.
That's
and
weird.
If you have an Elgato, can you with an Elgato?
Yeah.
Oh, with any capture card.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I thought that.
Okay, so going
Oh wait,
back,
okay. So through the system stream, you can't,
can't
do
Right.
it.
do
You
it
have a
from-
capture.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, I was like, how does that work through? A
Yeah, you
capture card?
can't stream it directly from your PS4.
They have to have a HDCP on
Yeah,
because that'd be the quickest way for them to block it. Just
I
enable
don't think so. No, because I
HDCP.
successfully streamed it before.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
it's using my Elgato card. Yeah.
Oh, you
So I-
give the Elgato. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did it-
through
did
like
we
OBS
capture-
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
use OBS.
Exactly.
Did it end up capturing audio?
Yeah, what I did. The thing is, I use I have a nice like surround sound receiver. You have to turn it off. You have to like let it pass through to the HDMI. So it was a setting.
Right.
I was initially just capturing the visuals, but I played around with the settings to let the receiver pass the audio through to the HDMI in
Okay.
stereo, and then it worked fine.
Yeah.
Man,
So I would love to see you
works.
guys stream it. I'll totally I'll be up there cheering on with biddies.
I'd be down. I
Apparently,
want to
we
see the
just,
game myself.
assholes because we don't have this.
Well, Persona 5.
Now that I have
Dude,
a
I'm not gonna
PS4,
lie.
I
I
might just
feel
buy
like
the
an
game
asshole for
myself.
not
I highly
having it.
recommend
Yeah.
it. It's
Um,
so
I like
bad.
What is it?
RPGs. I need
Felt so
something
bad
else to
about
sink my
myself.
teeth
Does it
into.
ever go on
But-
sale?
Huh? I've never seen Persona 5 go on sale.
Catherine, man.
That
Oregon
would be
Trail. Yeah, well, Catherine,
With Catherine?
that's almost
I
made
hate
my
myself.
list.
Catherine is also.
That's in my
I
top
played the
10.
demo for
I
it. I
am
think it
such
was
a
weird.
fucking
So good.
Atlas slut.
It's essentially
Take
let's
everything from
imagine for a second the people who made Qbert
I love
before doing
Q*bert.
Q*bert,
Yes.
dropped acid and watched a shitload of anime.
That sounds amazing.
That's like, and it's a puzzle game.
and I mean that in the best possible way.
That's
sounds
gonna be my
amazing.
puzzle game. What the fuck am I doing with Portal 2?
So
Just
before
kidding.
we go again, I did what I did last week.
Before I got on this fucking
morning.
deserted island.
It's what Catherine's
doing.
Catherine's one of those games you have to experience. You really don't.
Yeah,
Until you
you
actually
don't
play it,
want
you
to
really
play.
don't
You just want
understand.
to play.
Yeah.
No, wait. I've seen Catherine, but I've always wondered what it was, but I never looked
Yeah,
into
it's
it.
kind of.
Like, okay, so it's
in the
from the
same
makers of
boat
Persona.
here.
It's from Atlas. And like Persona, there are different phases of the game. Now, that's kind of where the similarities stop, aside from the fact that they're using the same engine. They actually built Catherine as a test for the engine they eventually would use for Persona 5.
Hi, Carrie.
Hello.
Hello. We have more peeps.
Welcome home.
So many people.
Yeah, I know.
Nice to meet you, by the way. Hello.
This is Carrie. Internet, this is Carrie.
Hello, Internet. Hello, Karen.
This is my
And
lady.
that's the last time you'll see Gary.
Yeah, it is. She'll
she's
hibernate
gone
and come out when
forever.
we're done. So.
In Persona, during the day, you can go talk to your friends, you go to school, you go do different activities, you can go like a batting cage to improve your dexterity, you can like go to the maid cafe.
That's kinda
to
cool.
improve your charisma because you're flirting
Dude,
with the girl.
I
or
like that.
whatever.
I like being able to do all of that extra
interesting.
stuff.
It's cool.
That does sound cool.
So that's then obviously at night or whatever, or depending on
You know, guys,
you go
maybe
to
I'll take this in as my project to like kind of
Definitely.
dive
You
Does
into
not take
this.
this away from. Oh,
You son of a bitch.
You guys,
or Persona.
Persona.
Interrupt, Aaron. I'm
think
gonna
we
throw
both-
something at you. I'm just kidding. I love you.
I love Me Too.
I love me 3.
I'm just kidding.
Why do you sound like you're from Star Wars?
That's awesome.
You take a de bongo. I don't know. Donkey Konga. But no.
Yeah.
In Catherine, you basically the daytime is like a
Interesting.
cutscene. It's like an anime cutscene. High quality, looks beautiful. It's gorgeous. This guy, I don't want to give away the plot. This guy's having some problems, to put it mildly. He goes to drink his trouble
Some
away
guy
at this-
problems?
Girl
Some guy
problems, really.
problems with his.
Yeah, it's interesting. So he goes to this bar, called Stray Sheep, to drink his troubles away. Interestingly, there's a mechanic in the game where if you drink more, you
You
do
are
better at night. You are
faster at
faster
night.
in your nightmares. So after you go home from the bar,
More alcohol,
you have these
faster
nightmares where you're
nightmares.
climbing this tower of blocks. You have to pull the blocks out. It's a 3-dimensional block climbing puzzle game. Really interesting, really
The
dark,
social-
really twisted and weird. I love it. It's in my top 10 definitely. It's probably like number 6 or 7, so it's not going to make my 5, but it's totally in my top 10. And I totally understand why it would be in your top 10.
Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do now.
Yeah.
Not now, but like sometime the next week. Okay, it'd be
Homework
real
assignment.
easy. We could probably do it in 10 seconds. I want you guys to get your top. I'm gonna say 3. Get three games out of your top 10
Yeah.
that you think that we should play that we probably have never played.
Okay.
Catherine is.
Well, Catherine and
sounds one
Persona
of them.
5
Persona
are
5.
probably
Yeah.
two
We've got 2
right there.
already, but I want each of you
Yeah.
to pick 3 each.
Honey Pop.
And I want 1,000 words
Toon
each
Pop.
Hooney
Bitch.
Pop.
on each of them.
And
Yeah.
so
I play Getting Over It.
I'm thinking. I
you
watched
hate
you guys
him?
get very
What is
upset
wrong
about it
with
the
you?
other night.
Oh my god, very frustrating.
Hey, he said he was going to poison the meatballs, so you can tell him to play that all you want.
No. I
You
called
can
that off.
only poison them once.
What are you gonna do?
I called
Poison
them
me
off.
again?
I'll be
Put
dead
me
the
some
first
more.
I
time.
want you to do
Jokes
that,
on you.
and then what we'll do is we'll set up a little bit of a session, and we'll try these games out.
Nice. I would love that.
And,
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
see
Oh, I'm down.
see how that happens.
Yeah.
Because we hang out every weekend and play games all Saturday mornings and stuff like that,
Sweet.
and afternoons.
Yeah.
So we could definitely
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
going. Catherine to be one of them. Okay,
What's
so
great is that Catherine's actually coming
Okay.
out with like.
A
I mean, it's
remaster.
technically a remaster. It's got a little
New
bit of extra.
content,
It's got like new
Yeah,
content.
you might wanna
to
wait for
the
that.
Kind of
original
like a
story.
complete
Okay.
edition.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a whole new character, and I guess they're adding to the story and stuff. So
No,
shit.
I own
I
a
kinda like
Persona
that.
game.
Which
It's
one?
like Persona 4 Golden, kind of how they
Oh, wow.
added.
I'm guessing 3 or
Um,
4, but
Persona
spicy meatball.
bug in my throat.
for Arena.
Oh, that's not really a Persona game.
that's
Do
not-
not call that a
That's
Persona
okay. I mean,
game. Oh,
that's
God.
It was free on
fine.
PS Plus.
I
It's
sense the
fine.
it's
But
fine.
it's not.
It's just
fine.
fine.
It's not what you want to start your Persona
There's
experience.
nothing
with.
wrong.
That gives you no
There's nothing
examples
wrong
of
with
the Persona
Persona. Right.
game.
There's nothing
So
wrong
if
with
you take
That's
Persona
like
PSP
starting
out
out with
and
Dancing
other than
All
the
Night
fact
or
that
something.
I would not
Like,
use it.
honestly.
I would not use it as a gauge for the series because it's not that kind of.
I like how I just incited so much rage.
Oh no, no,
Oh my God.
started.
I don't want some.
Yeah, I own a Persona game.
Arena,
Three of us are like, wait, what?
I bet you're bored.
I said it.
You get
They're
that
gonna
one
wait
out
until
there.
all of us are looking the other way and sneak out.
You're gonna
the
be
door.
asleep
Man,
tonight.
I own a Porsche. Rolls up into Power Wheels.
I say arena and like the slime comes fucking down.
You can't do that.
He
with
will-
That's so funny. Okay.
Word of the day is
You're gonna die in your sleep tonight,
I
man.
am.
No.
Yeah.
So we got like I'm gonna die.
It's
at
like the
this
minute I
table.
said zero.
Probably.
everyone was like,
We have
"Oh, what the
successfully
fuck?"
reached our our attention span limit for some listeners, which is 60 minutes. Yeah, I called you guys out. You're hearing me. Do you,
Hey, we're
do you want me to
58
read you
right
the-
now.
Let's do
Let's
Tucsonar's
finish,
list and then
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even.
Finish the list.
Wow, you
Yeah. Wow. Come on.
We went off in such a
guys.
tangent. I didn't
know,
know what
but-
was going on.
Dude, that tends to happen. We're talking.
We're going to be super quiet, and you're just going to go through your list.
All right. If we're talking about games I just will play over and over again and get tired of, yes, Persona 5 is on that list.
Okay.
So is The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's-
Good. Okay, someone brought it.
And
Good.
in my love of
Well, I
JRPGs,
have no doubt.
no matter how many times I never get tired of replaying it, and that is still The Legend of Dragoon. That's got to be.
Oh my god, I love when, every time you mention that. My
Yeah,
heart
it's-
just.
And by the way, if you asked the question
time?
earlier
Isn't
about
that the first
what game
time?
I'd like to just re-experience the first time over again, I picked that one. But we got two left. Based because of how much I play it, I'd probably have to put Skyrim on that list too.
Oh, yeah.
for myself.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. So.
Now the last one, I don't know if you guys have played or not. Ni no Kuni.
Yep. I played a little bit of Ni no Kuni. Yep.
I'm looking for. The second game is coming out this month.
Was
I'm very much
Studio
looking forward to
Ghibli
it.
involved with that?
Yeah, they did the animation.
Wow.
Joe
I gotta
Hisashi
play that.
Joe Hisashi did the soundtrack.
I gotta play that.
And
Oh, yeah.
it's it's a
So
pretty
good.
amazing game. It's a cool story about a
Another one of those games where like the first 10 minutes.
What's that?
Another one of those games with the first 10 minutes.
Dude.
Just
Tearing me apart, Ni no Kuni.
The only thing I really hope they make better in the second game that I was kind of disappointed in the first game. The game concept's great, but the creatures that you raise as familiars and they evolve, the evolutions almost look nothing that much different than the original. It's like the same creature with like a few changes or color schematic changes. They could have done
The
something
No Man's
more.
Sky syndrome.
This one.
Yeah.
It's like-
Exactly.
I hope the next one they make
You mean No Man's
actually
No Guys By?
makes the
No
creatures
Guys
differently
By.
evolve. Like actually have a bigger difference with that.
Well, I was noticing, JP, I was noticing the monsters on level 6 are about the same as they are on level 12. We could just render them different colors.
Yes.
That's why no one will know.
Same concept you're just telling me about.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I felt they kind of did in that game. It's like it's cool, but I felt they could have done more with them. That's all.
Yeah, I get that.
But that's my top 5 list, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a great list.
Aaron.
If we're all on the same island, we're going to be very happy people.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I'm glad a lot of my favorites have been mentioned, but I'm glad some of them are mine to claim. The number one, my absolute favorite game of all time, is Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo.
They just redid
So
that
you
for
must be,
PC.
yeah.
Well, I was happy when I heard that they released it for Steam, and then I heard that it was a port of the mobile version.
Oh,
And then I got
it's
really
gonna be
son,
missing,
I am disappointed.
You don't be missing like
I was
massive
actually like,
cutscenes.
You ever
I had
wonder
that
why they do that?
Same
Just ruin it?
feel
Yeah.
about the FF9 remaster.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
the Android
yeah,
version,
it's
so it's not
crazy, but,
true
like-
analog.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
Apparently, you can see like when you do it, it shows like the mobile touchpad when you're moving left and right. and
On the
stuff.
game?
They didn't shop
They
it
didn't
out.
even take it out?
Yeah, it's
That's
like
like
awful.
when they.
lazy
That's
porting.
like
It's the worst
I
kind
almost
of
paid money for
Castra.
that.
That
No, I
was
haven't played
like-
it, so I don't know for sure. I heard someone on the forum say that, so who
But it
knows? 'Cause they have
sounds
internet
like-
forum.
Well,
every
what's-
time
But-
Square ports a game to PC.
But I mean, it sucks because, it's, in my opinion, it's the greatest game of all time. It's the game that, first of all, the music. It's just 16-bit, but they did it so well, and it's so good. It still moves me. Like, if you're watching the show, when you're done, go to YouTube, look up Shala's theme, SCS.
Use your words.
Mana. SCHALA. Beautiful, beautiful music in that game. The characters for an RPG of the 16-bit era, I mean, Final Fantasy VI comes close, but the development, how much you care about the characters, was incredible. The investment that you feel. And then the fact that there were so many endings in an era. Well, we talked about
Yes.
Mass Effect 3.
Yep.
In an era where an entire franchise is built around choices you make in the game change the ending, and it boils down to what color explosion do you want. This was a game that legitimately you can end it at multiple times during the game, not just bad endings, but good or neutral endings that you beat the boss, you win.
Right.
Here's your ending. that when you beat him, the last boss, it changes what happens. Who is in your party, it changes what happens. Certain things that you do, a character you can actually rescue or not rescue, a character you can choose to execute or like banish or actually like join your party, a character you can leave stranded in the past or pick them up. The time travel element, it was incredibly deep, and I feel like it's probably maybe because it was an older game with more simpler programming, but these days developers are so frightened to put any content down a forked path because they're worried, well, most people will never make this choice and never see all this content. We're wasting time. Well, I agree, but they would rather be like, well, no, let's force their hand or do like a magician's choice, so you end up always picking the same thing more or less and put you on more of a linear path. Chrono Trigger had such a deep, I think there's like 17 endings, and they're real different endings. They're not slideshows.
I think that's kind of the direction Detroit Becoming Human is taking.
I'm very excited about that.
I am so excited about that. Yeah.
So
it's hard to compare those two. Actually,
I mean, I'm obviously
it's hard to compare, but at the same time, for back in that time,
if you're using broad strokes,
yes.
I mean,
now,
it'll work.
That game, to me, I mean, nostalgia's got to be a factor, you know, just because of what age I was when I played it, and it was just, you know, but I
What age was that?
When did that come out? 1996, I want to say. So I must have been like 13, 14, that was a very important time for me. I was definitely like, I was, not to get like political or anything, but I was kind of rejecting the teachings that I'd grown up with, the dogma, and so I kind of set out on my own. I was reading philosophy and stuff. I was really expanding my mind. So this game, which was, you know, I mean, I wouldn't compare it with like the writings of Franz Kafka, you know what I mean, or Albert Camus, but I was reading that stuff at the time, and it kind of fed into, you know, it made me think. It was a video game that made me think, and it made me feel, and it was in a very special place, a very special time for me. So I'm sure that.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. First, Chrono Trigger is Kafkaesque.
It can be.
that's kind of what I was.
Bloodborne's more Kafkaesque, yeah. So it's a very special game, and it will always have a special place in my heart. It's my favorite game ever. That's why it's at my number one. Number two, Earthbound, for very similar reasons.
Oh my fucking god! I love Earthbound so much.
Amazing music,
cry.
amazing characters and story. So fun, and it's another, you know, JRPG classic. I could go off for days.
I
gotta
version
tell you,
of it. I was so mad.
I was one of the, I guess, like 3 people on Earth.
The only game they fucking stole.
I just never played Earthbound.
Same.
I just never did.
I own the cartridge.
And then I did then I played it on like the SNES Classic like 3 or 4 months ago, and like I don't know why I haven't finished it by now, because like the game is. It is hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Like some of the dialogue is just some of the best dialogue I've ever. Like, your mom is like, "Oh, look at you wearing that coat. Aren't you cool?" And I'm like, "Fuck you, mom."
And it makes fun of so many like cliches in the JRPG genre. Like, imagine playing it when it first came out. And I think the thing is, it was a very special experience. So Dave, did you have the book and everything, the guidebook and all that?
Yep.
The guidebook.
It was amazing.
I'm not much of a fan for strategy guides. Yeah. The guidebook for Earthbound is written like a tourist guide.
It is.
It's like the different stages of like different towns.
And the really
like,
funny
it
thing
tells
is,
you about the town like you're like it's trying to sell you on going there for a vacation.
No, it does.
It's hilarious. It's so well written.
And some of the pictures with the descriptions and stuff were literally like a postcard.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, this flourishing oasis.
It's actually enjoyable to read. Like, you can just read that and have fun with the humor and the.
There's a lot of things in there.
Coincidentally, now I know everything I have to do with the game.
The funny thing about that particular walkthrough kind of thing is you could do without it, but it was so comical that there was a lot of things that were just if you played the game without never looking at the book,
right now.
honestly, you would find all the stuff in the book. You really would. It's hard to miss all that stuff. It really is. But it definitely added a little bit of a I'm going to this island, which I couldn't warp off it. I had such a hard time warping off that one fucking island.
The winter place.
Yes. There was one spot. You go up to the very top. There was a lot of. It was one with all the trees.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Looking place.
Yeah.
So you go up to the very top, and there's this one spot that doesn't have. It's like a little bit of a strip because you need a little bit of a spot to warp
run.
out to run.
Yeah.
And you get to this one spot, and it's the only. And if you don't hit it just right, you'll never get off that island.
Yeah,
I got stuck on it for months.
Makes you run so
literally
far.
months. Could not get off this island.
And then later you can upgrade it so you can run around in a circle, and that's a lot more helpful.
It's way better.
If you don't have that, you have to get enough track in front of you. Yep. It's like taking off to 88 miles per hour in the DeLorean. I think that was actually probably the reference. There's like you have to get up enough speed to.
Yep. So you always got to a certain point at that one spot that I couldn't.
Yeah,
a couple bushes in the way. But if you go to the very back of where the bushes are on the right hand side, and then you kind of turn a little bit, you turn back too. You can't just go there and then just hit the back button.
It's such a
you kind of had to turn just right and then just run.
Really?
But it was.
I don't know. I'm like 20 minutes into the game. I'm already stuck. So like, that's catching probably.
Earthbound was number 3. Two.
Number 2.
Dude, I love Earthbound. God damn, I love that.
Number 3. Now here's the thing. Until the last few years, my entire top 5 would be 16 and 8-bit, and that's just me because those are the games that I love. Persona 5 comes in at number 3. For a while, it was challenging Earthbound and Chrono Trigger, and I was like, is this my favorite game of all time? I don't know. I'm really loving this. After doing some soul searching, I'm like, because I'm Desert Island, I gotta play one game. I'm gonna want to play Chrono Trigger. I know that I'm gonna want to play Earthbound, but I'm also really gonna want to play Persona 5. So it's definitely my number 3, and we've said enough about Persona 5, I'm sure. But
I'm very interested.
I think some people.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued.
I almost wish you brought it.
It's the music again. I mean, as someone whose music is very important to, the music in the Persona games has always been fantastic. Persona 5's got this like acid jazz. In fact, it's very similar to like Jamiroquai, if you guys are into
Jamiroquai.
People love Persona 5. It's very much that kind of music.
Good.
Really good. Really well done. But it's just, the writing is so great. The characters are so great. It's a tearjerker at times. We call it cry porn. But it's just really, if you care enough about a game that it's going to affect you like that, clearly it's done something right. So now it's a little harder, right? I think Silent Hill 2.
Wow.
I think I got to go with Silent Hill 2 because I love those games, and of the games, 2 is probably my favorite. I think 4 is underrated criminally. I think The Room was The Room. But no, Silent Hill 4, The Room is actually really good. It's kind of underrated a bit. 3 is obviously really good.
Dude, I never actually finished 3.
3 is really good.
Dude, I got 10 minutes into the game. I think I made like a really wrong turn.
There is one scene in 3 that the hair stands up. It's so creepy.
I think I made a really wrong turn at the very beginning of Silent Hill 3. And I'm just in this room with like 30-foot tall monsters, and I just get my shit owned, and I'm just
it's like Bloodborne. You got to run past them.
I whipped when I should have nicknamed.
But so yeah, Silent Hill 2. It's so.
You don't even have to if it was just us, I'd be like, you don't even have to say anything.
To me,
it's just that good.
It's
Mama.
I've talked about how in other conversations with people how I like Resident Evil, I like stuff like that. That's fine. I really got to play the new one in VR. But those games have always been a bit more jumpy to me. Yep. Silent Hill, especially the first 4 of the series,
eerie.
It gets under your skin. It's creepy.
It's just psychological horror.
Right. It's more. It's more horror. Yes. It's more horror than it is jump and being.
And see, now I like that kind of stuff.
Me too. It really fucks with your head.
I get a whole lot of nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave.
The only thing, I remember when
I don't do horror anything.
Play Silent Hill 2 in the dark with surround sound or headphones, and it will just.
Nope.
That sounds amazing.
It's really great. Yeah. I highly recommend it. It's I like horror games. Silent Hill 2 is my favorite horror game.
I gotta tell you,
my hands shake. My body shakes.
Dave watched me play Resident Evil 7.
I
was playing it the first time. He was on the couch. It was like the lights were off and everything. And he saw this part like the girl comes up the stairs. And he's just like, no, I'm done. I tried to play the and it was hilarious.
Have you guys played PT, the demo?
Oh, yeah.
I played that.
So good.
I was heartbroken.
I have it on my PS4.
Kind of
it's the only game I will never delete.
It's the stuff. It's like unexplained stuff. I think unexplained is so much creepier. Than them hitting you over the head. Here's a zombie. Well, okay, we've seen zombies. We understand. Even like Alien, the Xenomorph, it's not as scary anymore because we got all these films exploring what they are and how they work. it was scarier in the first movie because you're like, what the fuck is this thing? You know,
Right. What does it do?
It kind of left to your imagination.
So games-
Sometimes your
Eternal
imagination
Darkness
can be
is another
scary.
one that's kind of
Yes, Sanity's Requiem. I love that game.
That game is amazing. They should make more of those.
Yeah. Oh my God, you should have seen how pissed I got when I was like going through, and then it's like, "Thank you for playing the demo of Eternal Darkness. Be sure to pick up the full game." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then I jump back to the game, and the guy was like, "This isn't happening," and I'm just like, "You motherfuckers."
Oh yeah, they're cool.
You got you good.
It will stop working. It'll be upside down. Dude, I fucking love that.
So, Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, Persona 5, Silent Hill 2, and I gotta go The Last of Us. The Last of Us, especially, have you guys played it on grounded difficulty?
Yep.
Takes away the superhuman hearing, takes away your heads-up display. You don't know how wounded you are. You know because Joel kind of holds his stomach and drags his leg. You have to count your bullets. You know it's a revolver. It's got 6 bullets. If I fire 2, I have to remember I have 4 because I'll go click, bang, 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 click. Oh, I didn't count. You have to be Archer and count your rounds.
That's pretty cool.
That right there is enough to make it cool, but it's also
So hard.
you know what the thing is when I was playing it on like normal, I'm like, man, all these bullets lying around, I'm like in the post-apocalypse, wow, and I'm kicking myself for making those jokes because later on in Grounded, I'm like, empty drawer, empty drawer, empty drawer, god damn it, every bottle and brick suddenly is like, thank you, I found a brick, oh my god, I can actually kill something with
Now I gotta figure out the best way to use this brick to kill 18
not
people.
right. You're like, okay, I'm gonna set the brick down, throw a bottle, pick the brick back up, sneak by, cank that guy on the head. It's like it totally turns you into like a weird hoarder. You I wish I had like a shopping cart and collect all these bottles and bricks and have Joel like shaking it down.
Like every time you open the front door, it's like a dilemma in your head going, do I use a ship?
Yeah.
Do I use a ship?
It
here?
legitimately, and I think the thing is why I love that so much is survival and crafting and stuff is now like it's the new thing.
It's a new thing.
And
there's
that's
just
kind of annoying.
a growing trend of survival
But
games, especially zombie survival.
They nailed it, especially in grounded mode. They nailed it so
It's
hard.
insane.
The primary choice, I think, the biggest one in The Last of Us is: do I make a health kit or a Molotov cocktail?
Oh, yeah.
Because a health kit, if you fuck up, you can heal yourself. But the Molotov, you can kill like a whole room of enemies.
I wish I could make a Molotov health kit.
Molotov health kit. The fire heals you and it hurts them.
One more thing I'm gonna mention, and then Paul, we're gonna want to start wrapping
Yeah, we
up
should
a
wrap
little bit.
I have to pee.
Have you? Now you know how I felt.
We appreciate you.
Have you played I Am Alive?
No, I really want to.
It was so great, almost because of the fact that like just normal mode is like grounded mode in the last one. You get 2 arrows, and like that's it.
Nice.
Like, and you get like a bow and you get 2 arrows, and if you like, I fucked up and I went to go shoot someone and one went off like a building. I'm like, well, that's gone forever, and I will never get that back. I have 1 arrow for the rest of my life.
Good for you.
A round of applause for Tony.
And it turned into like this whole like thing, like it's something so menial as like missing like the opponent, and like your arrow goes off the side of the building, and you're like, oh no, what happened? I'm so fucked. So yeah, that was definitely a great game. I recommend it. It's super cheap if you can find it. I think like on Steam, I think it's like $5.
Is that multiplayer?
No, it's just strictly single player. And the weird thing is like the people in that game are so like distrusting. Like you'll come up to one guy just like stay away. You're like whatever. Like you keep walking. He's like fuck you. I told you to stay away. And I'll like shoot you in the face. You'll die. I'm like, well.
I feel like we learned something
It's
here.
about time I get moving on.
Yeah.
So thanks for your time.
I guess I'm just gonna
go look
restart
for my
15
arrow.
minutes ago.
Okay, so we good? We got everybody?
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, another reason why Persona 5 is amazing.
No, fuck you. Okay, so guys, if you haven't noticed, controller throwers are here. You can find them everywhere.
Everywhere. Twitch.tv/controller throwers.
You can find them in this house right now, actually.
ControllerThrowers.com. Search for us on Facebook. Controller Throwers. We'd love to talk to you, talk games, talk video games. We do Jackbox games and audience participation stuff all the time. We appear at conventions. We'd love to see you. Come up on stage, play some games for fun and prizes.
And as always, we're Winterhouse Gaming.
Thank you guys for having us. This has been awesome.
Thank you very much for coming. Just to let everybody know that's on Twitch right now, we are going to probably play some other games that we may or may not be streaming.
I'd be totally down.
Question mark? Okay, we're going to stream pretty much everything we do tonight.
Stream Werewolf, definitely.
Yeah.
We can do that. We have the technology.
I'm going to go pee.
Obviously, look at this stuff.
Pee party now. Break.
I have to stream my stream. Okay, bye. We love you guys.
See you.
Bye. I have to hit the button first.